Good morning, students. Today I am going to continue chapter number 1, tracing changes through 1,000 years from history. And in this topic, today we will discuss about the old and new religion, and number 2, thinking about time and historical periods. So, my dear students, as I told you in my previous explanation about the changes year by year, in which we have discussed about the archives or libraries where old documents are kept, which we can read and learn, understand today's also. And earlier, before the development of printing press, people were copied from one book to another to make new sources of information. And this chapter is also related to the changes of different social and political groups, like earlier people had developed Persian wheat for irrigation and firearms or guns and different kind of new foods, beverages, weaving system, etc. innovated and carried by the people from one country to another country. And this medieval period which we are discussing, that is related to the development of different dynasties of kings and their future generation, like Rajputs, Marathas, Sikhs, Jat, Ahoms and Kayas had ruled over the country. And as I told you before, people were moving here and there in search of food and work, etc., etc. But after the invention of different tools, technology and agriculture development, now people settle and they live together. After that, different types of tribes or tribal groups emerge in a big ruler dynasty over our country or India. And after that, after the development of settlements and particular boundaries who ruled over by the different groups or tribes and by the different types of commanders and powerful person over the village, over the area, over the settlements. That time different kinds of beliefs, jatis and religions were also developed, and people followed different kinds of religion, faith and beliefs, and they had its own deities to worship it. After that, as we discussed to you, that different kind of region and empire also started to develop. Many people came in India, and many people who were the citizen of India earlier developed their own dynasty. Different kinds of writings, Old Testaments and precious deeds in which we can read and learn about the rulers who ruled over the country. And in one precious deed in which the Sultan of Delhi, whose name was Ghiyasuddin Balban, ruled over the country, and in precious theme about the system and rule of the Sultan Ghiyasuddin had written on the copper plates, and on the basis of that precious theme we are getting information that he was the ruler of a very big empire or very big area over the country or over the India, and he ruled from East India to West India, from north to south. Like his kingdom stretched from Bengal to Pakistan, and after that Afghanistan, and from Andhra Pradesh to Kerala, Karnataka to Maharashtra, etc. etc. After that, different kind of another dynasties and kings ruled over the country. And as I told you and discussed that after the coming of different kind of kings, whenever Mughals came in India, he ruled over the country. And this chapter which we are discussing, that is about 700 to the 1750s, in which different rulers came in India, and they were conflict also with each other, and like Cholas, Khaljis, Tughlaqs and Mughals, who were able to build an empire, a very big kingdom related to all over the country or India, and they also developed many pan-regional. It means they had conquered different countries and stretched their kingdom or stretched the boundary of an area where they ruled over. Alright. After that, students, after the decline of Mughal Empire in all over the India in 18th century, again many small kingdoms and states developed by the many kings, because after the end of great dynasty rulers like Mughal Empire, many kings and commanders who were against the policies and rule of the Mughal, they had segregated their own kingdoms, or they had divided a small region to rule over. So students, on the basis of that, we can see that between 700 to 750 different types of kings and kingdoms developed and also declined, and all about information which we are getting or we are discussing with each other, that is all related to the 700 to 1750. And student, this period is known as medieval period, and in this period we will learn about the development of different economic system, social system, and also different type of culture and religion, and different type of development of small states, kingdoms, etc. And in this time, we will also try to understand that how different cultures, religions develop, and how elite cultures or educated people working or work for the country. So your next topic is old and new religions. So students, as I told you above that, now due to the development of technologies and many religion traditions, people believes in different deities, and they are like today worshipping different type of a religious group, and they having different type of beliefs, as well as like earlier people also had different beliefs, and they were worship different kind of deities, and follow different type of religious rules and regulation. And earlier, which we are talking, people also believe in a supernatural powers, etc. After that, after the emergence of different type of new culture, religion and tradition, this period people had witnessed related to many important changes, especially in India. And this is related to the construction of temples and the development of new religious groups and like Brahmins, priests and different kind of artisans which are supported by different great people like kings and artists, craft person and learned nobles and Brahmins, priests, they were all dominated over the society. And after the increasing of knowledge of Sanskrit texts, Brahmins earned a lot of respect in society and they were totally dominated over the religious activities related to the society and also over the kingdoms. In this way, different kinds of religious beliefs developed by the Brahmins and priests during the time of medieval period. As I told you, that Brahmins and craft persons and priests also supported by the many people who were interested in art, cultures and religions. All these peoples were supported by nobles, kings to change in society and also for changing and writing different kind of texts for the next generation. In this period, we will also learn about that major development related to the idea of bhakti. And the meaning of bhakti means a loving person, deity that devotees could reach without the aid of priests or elaborate rituals. It means bhakti, faith or beliefs developed by different people in the medieval period in which they had developed an idea of bhakti without any source. It means people can pray anywhere if they are free from any kind of mischievous activities or anything. They can pray anywhere at their home and there is no need for any source like temple or priest for worshipping. So the idea of bhakti was also emerged on that period, and during that period many new religions are also appeared in Indian subcontinent because earlier people came in India and they were bring a number of new beliefs and things and ideas. Like that time, during the 17th century, a new religion like Muslims also started to emerge in our Indian subcontinent, and they brings a faith of Holy Quran in 17th century, and they said that God is Almighty, Allah is Almighty, whose love, mercy and beauty embrace all those who believe in Him. Okay? After that, many rulers who were the followers of Islam and the different learned peoples who were belong to the Muslim society, they were also encouraged by the different kings and rulers in India that time. And students in India that time, two types of beliefs also started by two groups of Muslims. Some were the followers of Ali, who was the prophet of Muhammad son-in-law, and someone is the following of only Khalifa of Muslims era. So during this period, whatever Islam spread out, that were also carried by the people, different faith. Okay, and student, that time many type of technology and mystic tradition were flourished. Okay, after that, thinking about time and historical periods. So students, as I told you earlier, and we have discussed that year by year many changes occurred during the medieval period or during the 700 to 1750, and many people witnessed for the changes related to year by year. And students, these changes is not only related to the technological development, religious development, or emergence of different kind of casteism system or jati. So for understanding, British historian had divided history into three periods: Hindu, Muslim and British. And he had written his writing during the 19th century, and he expressed his ideas about the India and divided Indian rulers and kings into the Hindu, Muslim and British, in which he had written about the Hindu ruling system, Hindu beliefs, Hindu religions and whatever practices and followed by the Hindu people in India. And after that, whenever Muslims came, he also written about the Muslims and about their rules, regulation and system. And after that, whatever Britishers changed all over the system of India, they had written about it. And student, this periodization is very easier. Periodization means division of different year according to the work of king and Britishers, like different governor generals came in India and they had developed India according to his own policy. So students, on the basis of this division of history, we can understand very clearly about the methods of different kingdoms. And students, in previous topics and previous books, you have also learned about the development of hunter-gatherers, and after that development of town and villages, and after that development of different empires and kingdoms, and rise of great kingdoms and rise of great dynasty like Mughals, like Rajput, etc. And students, whatever we are discussing today, this is all related to thousands of years. This is not related to only 2 years, 10 years, 30 years or 50 years. This is all related to the thousands of years. And in this book, we are discussing about the changes related to the 1,000 years ago to till now. And whatever date given and whatever technological development given in our book, this is all related to the medieval period, which is also indicating modernization of religion, culture and development of new faith and system, etc. So students, at last, during these 1,000 years, the society of the subcontinent were transferred often, and economies in several regions reached a level of prosperity that attracted the interest of European trading companies. It means from ancient time to till now, year by year, a development of economy, development of society, development of different religions and beliefs, and development of trade and business related to other parts of the world, Europeans attracted and came in India, and they started rule over the country. So student, this is all about related to the old or ancient India to tell when Britishers came. And student, in this chapter we have learned about the development related to new religion and social and economic development, etc. So students, for today's that's all, and in my next class we will discuss about the question and answer. Okay, thank you and have a nice day.